Hello everybody and welcome to my first YouTube video. My name is Azalea Akari. I am playing currently in the Amberflight Gaming Pokemon Draft League. This is a 3-week Ubers tour, an Ubers draft as you can see by the first Pokemon on my team. And this is the team that I have drafted. As the draft has just concluded, I figured I would do a preview of my team as I will be uploading each of the matches. I will go over the teams that I have, the team my opponent has, and I will go over the replay, as I think that is a fun and really good way to get insight into my game plan and my opponent's game plan if I am able to talk to my opponent about that. But yeah, this is my Ubers team. We currently have from the start, I have Palkia Origin was my first pick among the pool of Uber Pokemon that we had. And I thought it'd be cool because, as you can see, Palkia Origin's stats, it just has insane stats. It's 120 speed, which is better than regular Palkia. And it does, so it sacrifices some of the other things that regular Palkia has, and it puts them into speed, and maybe also Spadef. I'm not 100% certain on that, but next after Palkia Origins, I drafted Iron Treads. It's a Pokemon I've never used, but have wanted to use for so long. It's one of my favorite Paradox Pokemon, and it obviously fits really well in the general theme of my team for the next couple of picks, as it's a Cork Drive user, and I think it's a really good Pokemon to have with Palkia, as it obviously it's part of the Steel Fairy Dragon Core. In my next pick, we have Tapu Koko, and so you see how it kind of ties together with Iron Treads and Koko. They do help each other out, obviously, with typings. Iron Treads, as a Pokemon, is just fantastic. It has everything you could need. It makes so you don't really need to worry about a poison type to soak up toxic spikes. It's a rapid spinner. It has Volt Switch. It has knockoff. It does damage. It's fast. Like it's just got a great. It's got a great speed side. It's not the fastest in Ubers, because there are a lot of Uber Pokemon that are just so fast. But 106 speed is excellent. It can do a lot of the job on this team of kind of contending with the Pokemon that are in the 90s speed. I can put more into bulk and less into its speed typically. But it will also be able to obviously put on the speed when it needs to and go. But yeah, let's talk about Tapu Koko. Tapu Koko is an electric terrain setter with its ability Electric Surge, and I love this Pokemon. I think it's very neat. It's got a higher attack than special attack, however it does tend to be special. It's got Defog, U-turn, Volt Switch, so you don't have to just commit to Volt Switching when you see a team with a bunch of ground types that's going to keep switching in, on you. You now have U-turn for it. It's got good utility with its speed and being able to inflict status with Thunder Wave. It can generally be pretty supportive, but it can also go on the offensive. And I think the flexibility of Tapu Koko plus its 130 base speed is absolutely excellent. Next up, we have the Terra captain of our team. We have Iron Boulder. That is just absolutely scary with any Terra that you want to give it. As this league is open Terra preview, or it's free Terra preview, I should say. So I can use any typing I want, but it'll show in Terra preview, as this league will be played on Pokemon Showdown. And so I looked at all this, and a couple of weaknesses were starting to show. Obviously, ground is still something I'm quite weak to, but we have enough. We kind of have enough things that maybe ground won't be the biggest issue in the world. And Iron Boulder will always be Terra. Will always be going to a Yeah, Iron Boulder will always be going to something that will be neutral to ground, or will just not take that much damage from ground. So that is so those three core Pokemon, Treads, Coco, Boulder, are making up a lot of like the game plan of my draft. Palkia Origin definitely fits very well with this type of team, as it can just dump boatloads of damage with the rest of the team. Next up, we have Ninetales Alola. So Alola and Ninetales definitely fit this team with its ability to set Aurora Veil. It has Heal Bell, it has Baton Pass, so it can also technically do some pivoting. We have a decent chunk of pivoting on this team, but not everything on the team can pivot. Which is absolutely fine if you're fast enough with stuff and you just make good proper switches. But Ninetales is just really, really good for the purpose of being able to set Snow and set Aurora Veil. And really, there's no one else. There's not many other people in the league that have Weather, so I would suspect that I'll be able to get it up quite a bit of the time. And next up, to also kind of combat the ground weakness in the start, we have Mega Gyarados, who of course comes in as Gyarados. And so we do technically have the ability to switch around with Gyarados. We don't have to Mega right away. So if I just need Gyarados to sit there and be able to deal with EQs or Earth Powers, that's also fine. But Mega Gyarados is a hard hitter. It's got 155 base attack, which is absolutely crazy. It is pretty slow. I believe it's a bit slower than regular Gyarados, if I'm not mistaken. But it does hit a decent speed tier, and it doesn't always care about speed anyways. So it's going to be able to be bulky. It's got good, respectable special bulk, and it's got decent defense, and about average. I'd say about average HP. Our next pick really was the thing that addresses. Our next pick really was the thing that addresses our weakness to ground, which is Rotom-Mow. Rotom-Mow is obviously a really good Levitate Pokemon. In terms of obviously just having Levitate, it's really good for our ground weakness. It might not come to every single match, but it will come to the matches. Obviously, it kind of needs to. It's Leaf Storm. Leaf Storm definitely can hit hard into the ground types that would normally give it an issue. Because it will have a move that can just clap right back and deal a ton of damage. And it has a respectable 105 special attack, for sure. And after a couple of snipes, so after Rotom-Mow, we had a little bit of issues with a couple of Pokemon I had planned to pick, all getting sniped right before. However, Delmise stepping up as a ground resistance, definitely really good for the team. And again, this will be a niche bring. It does, like, our team is a little bit ghost weak. However, I wouldn't worry about the Lampent being a ghost. I wouldn't worry about any of Lampent's, any of Lampent's actual matchups, because it's just my mascot it's my final mascot pick. It's a one-pointer. Delmise, though, has real usage if it needs to come. It is also a rapid spinner, even though obviously most of the time we're going to see Iron Treads be my rapid spinner. Overall, I am so excited for this, and I think that the Ubers League is going to be a ton of fun. I guess what I can do is kind of go over a little bit about each Pokemon and the type of sets they like to run. So in general, Palkia Origins is just a super, super good wall breaker. It will typically run like Spatial Rend, which is its kind of signature move. It'll run and then it'll run apologies. My that was strange. My all of the tabs of my browser just completely shut off. We're gonna leave this in the video on whether it's just a little unfortunate technical difficulty. But Palkia Origin, obviously just a wall breaker. It runs. It typically likes to run Substitute and 3 and like maybe two stabs in a coverage. It's super good. It's obviously a 4 times water resistance. It's a 4 times fire resistance. And it's just awesome in general. It's only got its 2 weaknesses of Dragon and Fairy. But yeah, it's quite good with Palkia Origins. Obviously, Iron Treads has so many different things. It can be a lead Pokemon. It can do other types of damage. I think it does tend to be typically like Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, 2 moves. So Earthquake, Ice Spinner, depending on what you need it for. You don't really want to run Ice Spinner all the time on this when you're running when we're running a terrain team. So but it also has Knockoff. Knockoff is also a super good move to just help with items, just help with item removal, knock them boots off people. Just super good. Tapu Koko is a Pokemon that I said is very flexible. It's got good pivoting. It has Roost. It has Volt Switch, U-turn, depending on which one you kind of need for the matchup. It can run all sorts of different items. It can run boots. It can run choice. It can run specs. It probably doesn't need Scarf, but you can go screens. It's a good screen setter as well. Calm Mind, if you want to run like a leftovers Calm Mind set or like a Life Orb set with Calm Mind, it can do a ton of damage that way. But yeah, it's got a good. It's just a very solid Pokemon in general. Iron Boulder is the big hitter. Iron Boulder is the absolute massive hitter of this team. Iron Boulder is good with Swords Dance type sets. It's good. It's just a great Terra Pokemon. It can run all sorts of different good Terras in general. Like you can run Band, you can run like sometimes Booster Energy won't be super necessary because obviously I have picked a team that has electric terrain, so you don't have to worry about that. And in general, Iron Boulder is obviously a base 124. It's going to outspeed a lot of Pokemon, which means it's going to be able to also speed creep a lot of Pokemon and become bulkier. It has respectable special defense, but it's lacking on the physical end of defense, so you can always kind of back things up that way. And I think overall, Boulder is just like being the centerpiece of this team is something that's really cool. Ninetales is obviously a Aurora Veil setter. We will have some attacking moves. Obviously, it's an Encore user as well. It's very, very cool Pokemon. I'm a big Ninetales Alola fan. Mega and Gyarados Mega is just a break. It just seems like it's a breaker. You can use Dragon Dance with it and everything. But yeah, you can run like different D-Dance teams and stuff like that. It's good. Yeah, like I said, it's a good Pokemon. Mega Gyarados it's a good Pokemon. You don't have to run speed all the time. You can run some bulk. I know a lot of sets on Smoking will just run 252, 252, 4. But that's like just kind of basic stuff. And you can, for draft, it's going to be a bit different. Rotom-Mow. Rotom-Mow's is actually like, yeah, Nasty Plot. This thing can just set Nasty Plot on people if it really needs to. It's a good switch. Like I said, it's a great switch into ground types. It's immune, and it's just like a good, pretty solid Pokemon. You can run it bulky. You can I'm sure you could run this thing bulky. It's got great bulk overall. 107 on special and in regular defense. So like I wouldn't be surprised if I'm running like careful or if I'm running like plus special minus attack plus defense minus attack spadef plus spadef stuff. Or there's gonna be weeks where there's gonna be times where I'm just gonna need this thing to do damage, and that's where you can go like timid or even modest with your speed, because at 86 it's not always going to need speed investment, but there will be times where it's needed to speed creep some stuff. But Rotomo's a cool Pokemon. And I will just quickly look at Delmai's. Yeah, it's it uses Rapid Spin. Poltergeist is an awesome move that it has. Signature move is Anchor Shot, and Anchor Shot's interesting. It's a trapping move, so you kind of have to be wary of Anchor Shot trapping. Knockoff is awesome. I do wish as a rock type that it had, or as a grass type that, I know it's a physical attacker, so it's just got to work with Power Whip. But that's kind of the downside of a lot of physical grass attackers, is its best move. The best move you get is typically Power Whip, which is 85% accurate, which is no bueno to me. I don't like when moves miss like that. It's why most rock type Pokemon, or Pokemon that have rock type coverage like Stone Age, I'm so wary of it. I mean, sometimes you just have to run it, but it does feel like it'll miss when you need it to like hit. But that's the team, and I'm so excited to get to run with this team. I'm excited to bring you at least 3 weeks of videos, and including playoffs, which is top 8. So we'll see if I make playoffs or not. You need to. We're going to be. There's 16 players, 16 coaches, and we will be split into 4 divisions of 4, and we play each member of our division once, and then whoever does the best, the top 8 teams, will go to the playoffs, which I think most times works out. Most of the time, it'll work out to top 2 from each division. We'll make it, so we'll see. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure, if you enjoyed this, to like and share and subscribe to the channel. And I'm, again, looking forward to bringing everyone the rest of the content that I have for this season and going forward in the future. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic rest of your day.